Alt Funds Global presents How to Monetize Non-Rated SBLCs. Unlock hidden cash flow with expert strategies.
So you're an entrepreneur, you're looking for capital. Some joker broker told you about stamp letters of credit they're going to be issuing in, and you have to figure out how to monetize them. And then the cost of the stamp letter of credit is really cheap. And then you look underneath the hood and you find out there's a stamp letter of credit that's not rated. It's a non-rated stamp letter of credit. And you're wondering how to monetize them? In this video, I'm going to tell you the techniques you've got to use. You've got to watch this video.
All of the information presented is for entertainment and information purposes only. Nothing discussed constitutes legal or accounting advice, an offer or solicitation of financial services, or financial advice of any kind. Our goal is to showcase alternative vehicles to raise capital. At no point will we be soliciting any investment programs.
Hi, it's Taimour Zaman from Alt Funds Global. My organization helps accredited investors leverage their assets, their cash, seminars, grants, and so on, to access capital that banks are primarily offering their VIP clients. We can do this because of our relationships, our experience and expertise in this area, and the volume of transactions we give to banks. So friends, from time to time I get clients who are members of our organization book a consultation call and say, hey, we've got this guy who told us about stamp letters of credit. We got curious about it. Are these things real? We called banks. We looked at the banks. There's a lot of banks that have a department called trade finance actually issues stamp letters of credit. And we can get this stamp letter of credit really cheap. The problem is we can't find anybody who can take it and give us cash against it. It would be like you found a bicycle in the corner street and nobody wants your bicycle. The best way to monetize stamp letters of credit, and somebody says they can get you one of these nonsense tools. Sorry, I should say nonsense. That's not the right word. But somebody who gives you a non-rated stamp letter of credit. There's only one way that I know of that takes into account fraud. It takes into account execution. And that's what I would recommend. That's what I do at Alt Funds Global. You do this. Whoever who's promising you stamp letters of credit gets issued by something called banks. It doesn't get issued by Taimour Zaman Incorporated. Unless Taimour Zaman is a fraudster, or they're fraudsters who issue nonsense things at the basement of their house, generally speaking, these things get issued by a bank. What I would do is contact that bank and say, when you issue these stamp letters of credit, can you give me the 5 other banks that you have sent this instrument to? Because when you issue a stamp letter of credit, you're not issuing it to I as a human being. You have to send it to my bank. So who are the banks that are receiving the stamp letter of credit? And I will call those banks and open up an account with those banks. When you call the receiving bank, you're saying, hey, look, I understand. By law, banks can issue stamp letters of credit for 2 reasons: credit enhancements or import-export. And I have a project going on. If you need project financing, therefore it's credit enhancement. And I want to open up a bank account with you, and here's my project. Ideally, the bank that receives the stamp letter of credit is in the country that you have a project going on. If I was the CEO of a bank in Italy, and you have a project going in the United States, it would be a little bit weird for an Italian bank to be funding an American company or an American project. It would be a little bit weird. Now, when I say that, you may have checked out our YouTube channel. You may have noticed that we have a lot of CEOs of banks that we have a relationship with. You have actually noticed one of my interviews with a French bank CEO where we're funding US projects. There's a particular structure we are using that I don't provide that structure for free on YouTube that allows for that to happen ethically, legally, like that. And but I don't need to disclose that to you. I want to go back to my SBLC story. You want to look for a bank that's a receiving bank that receives the same amount of credit in a country and jurisdiction that you're in. That's the most easiest way of doing this. Who you are dealing with so that you don't have to deal with fraud is the actual bank. Who you are dealing with so you don't have to deal with fraud or be concerned about fraud is the actual bank. That means you pick up the phone, this invention called telephone, it works. I promise it works. You call the issuing bank, you say, hey, I want to open up an account with you because we issue so much credit. You call the receiving bank, hey, I want to open up an account with you because you receive so much credit. And when you open up an account, you open up something called a trade finance account. You're not opening up a saving checking account. Saving checking account cannot receive a amount of credit. Amount of credit is a banking instrument. So that's step one. Step two is I would ask the receiving bank, give me the languaging that you need on your amount of credit that the issuing bank has to give you for you to be able to monetize this, for you to cash me out. And I'll ask for procedure. Are you going to give me a loan? How soon can I get the loan? Like things like that is the questions you want to ask. Then I will contact the sending bank and say, okay, I'm now prepared to pay you money. And the money doesn't go to a broker, it goes to the bank. So if you're getting a non-rated amount of credit from HSBC Bank, that money goes to your bank at HSBC. It does not go to Joker Broker's bank account or Taimour Zaman likes money, by the way. It doesn't go to Taimour Zaman's bank account, it goes directly to a bank. That's the correct procedure on how to do that. To open up an account with the issuing bank, to open up an account with the receiving bank like that. Now, for honest to God, for reasons I don't understand, for reasons I don't understand, for clients that don't want to do this, they want to get the money that comes out of this, but they don't want to do this. And they want to work with firms like mine, like All Funds Global. I respectfully, I hate clients like that. If I was going to do it myself, and I want the lazy model, the model that's just I'm lazy, when you want to work with a firm like one of our competitors, I would put a joint venture contract, a JV, not a service fee agreement, a joint venture contract with the person who's going to says, yeah, I have a account at HSBC or Deutsche Bank, whatever the bank is. Do a joint venture account, a joint venture contract, then go and open up an account with that bank. And when the instrument is going to be issued, pick up the phone, call the bank, say, hey, I'm a client, here's my account number. And then, hey, I'm a joint venture contract to this other client you have, here's my paperwork. Can you verify and confirm that my letter of credit got issued? And then when it goes to the receiving bank, guess what? Joint venture contract, open up an account with the receiving bank before all this happens. Contact the receiving bank and say, hey, I'm a client of your bank. Here's my banking information like that. And then you say, hey, here's my JV. Can you confirm the instrument has been received? Every white hair that I have is because of these types of programs. Every white hair that I have is because of these types of programs. If you are not willing to take some comfort risk, this is not for you. If you're not willing to take some comfort risk, go talk to investors and, put their money at risk on your projects. Go to a bank and provide collateral and, give your house or whatever it is as collateral to a bank and put that at risk if you're not willing to take a risk. The one risk for sure, a lot of people somehow, I don't know, magically they oversee it, they don't see it, is the SWIFT system myself. When Bank A wants to issue a letter of credit to Bank B, when you create value, it's not getting a letter of credit from HSBC London and sending it to Barclays London, which is in the same city, they hire from the same grad schools, the executives go to the same clubs, like that. That's not how you create value in this space. You create value by getting a amount of credit from HSBC London that's non-rated as an example, but you're selling that amount of credit to the non-name Bank of Korea. Why? Because the non-name Bank of Korea's credit rating is 0. That's how you create value. And then when the instrument is going in a SWIFT system, look, 99.999% of the time it gets to where it needs to go to. All the white hair that I have. That's a lot of times me and my clients, when we start to do this, the Russian-Ukraine war happens, it gets stopped. One of the corresponding banks in between loses bank license. Like, that by itself is a risk that nobody for some reason thinks about. The fraud risk, I think, is a lot more easier to deal with when you are, now, I want to be careful how I say that. The fraud risk is easier to deal with when you open a bank account on the receiving side and the issuing side. It doesn't go away because one of the things I've learned in my 10 years of doing these things, the banker itself, I've seen 2 scenarios where the banker itself has been a thief. So, full disclosure, there's some risk in doing these types of transactions. But, when I got my first one done, the payout is lifestyle change. It's not like you're making $60,000 for the year and that year you make $80,000. It's not that kind of a payout, small payout. It's a lifestyle change. And so a lot of clients who do this with or without us successfully want to rinse and repeat. I mean, you want to rinse and repeat, I highly recommend 2 things. Get a copy of my book, Damn Butters of Credit, Turning Paper into Profit, and for heaven's sake, open up a bank account on the issuing side and open a bank account on the receiving side. You've got to do that so that you can have control over the transaction or some control over the transaction and get done. I hope you found this helpful. My name is Taimour Zaman. If you found it helpful, subscribe to our YouTube channel and like this video. Would you like to know about our next event?
Why would you attend Allfunds Global's banking events?
Unlock exclusive financing secrets with top bank CEOs and family offices. Build powerful connections, secure loans beyond retail banks, and fund your legacy. Join financial leaders at Allfunds Global offshore events.
I learned a lot today over the past couple of days. Just like she was saying, extremely grateful. Here is a safe place to invest with structured finance, with bankers. I've been looking for years and never found anything like this. I've talked to a lot of joker brokers. This is like the 1%. There's more, 95% scammers. For me, this is going to change everything, where I will be structuring, retooling my project investors to get in the right position to get funded with these strategies and techniques.
Hi friends, I now want to take a minute and answer some of your frequently asked questions. One of the common questions I get a lot is, Taimour, we've learned a lot from you through your YouTube channel. How do we learn more? Can we fly down and meet you, meet your team? And the answer to all of that is yes, yes, and yes. If you want to learn more, my first invitation is to become a member of Allfunds Global. You simply go to our website, allfundsglobal.com. You sign up to become a member for free. You get access to webinars, offshore events that we do, and content that we never, ever, ever, ever publish on YouTube. I promise you it's worth becoming a member for sure. The second way that you can learn a lot is I'm a published author. Structured Financing Demystified, Hypergrowth, just multiple books on Amazon that you can get access to. I highly recommend going and checking out some of these books, getting engaged into some of the stuff, that strategies and tactics that we're using for ourselves, for our families, for our friends. You definitely want to check these things out for sure. Another question, I guess, Taimour, why are you so passionate about getting a bank license? Why is that so important? Well, the truth is, our mission within All Funds Global is to help businesses become self-funded for life. Imagine you run a coffee shop and I run a coffee shop. Imagine we buy the coffee beans from the same grower and my coffee shop is right across yours, like really right across yours. Our competition is probably nil. But if you have a bank license and I don't have a bank license, and let's say I made $500,000 and you made $500,000 in income, but if you have a bank license, you are depositing a bank license with the central bank of the country where you own your own private bank license. Let me repeat this again. You are depositing your money with the central bank of the country you have your bank license on. So $500,000 deposited with the central bank should give you a line of credit of 10 times multiple. So that means you get a line of credit of $5 million. Now it's not free money, it's a line of credit of $5 million. Now, if you draw that entire money out and you go to whichever country you're currently resonating in, the country you're doing business with, and you know in real estate, you want to buy a house, you put 20% down and you get a loan for 80%, same thing. You put $5 million down with a business plan to your local bank, whoever your bank with, and say, hey, I want to grow my business, my technology business, real estate business, pharmaceutical business, whatever business it is. I'm a venture capitalist. I'm putting $5 million down. Your bank gives you a loan at four times more, so now you get a $20 million loan. Now it's not free money, it's $20 million loan. What can you afford to do with $20 million that I cannot afford to do with $500,000? Could you invest in artificial intelligence? Could you invest in hiring better people? Could you invest in advertising? Hell, with that amount of money, could you even buy auxiliary businesses or invest in auxiliary businesses? I say you can, and that's why we within All Funds Global are so passionate in helping clients become self-funded for life, and getting a private bank license is one of the vehicles that I am personally very passionate about helping clients on. Another question, I guess, Taimour, you charge a consultation fee. All Funds Global, the team charges a consultation fee. Why do you charge a consultation fee when you guys can make so much money on the back end? It somehow slows me down from taking a credit card and paying you money for it. Well, here's the truth. We offer our content, millions and millions of dollars worth of content complete for free on YouTube. We don't advertise as of the date of doing this video. We don't advertise on YouTube, Google, or we don't do any kind of advertising at all. And what we find is the volume of traffic that goes into YouTube attracts people that are tire kickers, people that are fraudsters, people that have mental health issues. When we charge a small consultation fee, this deters the hacker, the fraudster, the person who's shopping around, the tire kicker. It eliminates all that and allows me and my team to be on calls or meetings with customers we actually want to do business with. What a concept. Now comes, this is better. At the time of doing a transaction with a client, that fee they pay for a consultation call, we refund it. At the conclusion of us doing a transaction with a client, we refund 100% of all the monies that they paid on consultation fees. This allows us to work with people that are committed to working with us, are serious about working with us, are not tire kickers, are not people that are like, they don't know what banking 101 is, and they're there to waste our time and energy. Just eliminates that. And me and my team are very proud of doing that. Next question, I guess, Taimour, the alternative funding industry overall has a lot of fraudsters in it, has a lot of deep fake in it. What are you doing to protect us, protect yourself? So here's the answer to that. Any industry that has a lot of money by default attracts a lot of fraud. Let me say this again. Any industry that attracts a lot of money by default attracts a lot of fraud. I don't know who you bank with. If you bank with one of the top 20 banks in the world, pick a bank you bank with, or you use payment processing companies like PayPal, these companies see a lot of fraud every day from fraudsters mimicking their website to mimicking their email addresses, and in cases like mine, once a year or twice a year, some idiot, excuse my language, decides to copy my picture on social media, tries to create a fake profile of me, and goes on social media selling scammy transactions. Now, we have the technology and the resources to catch that, usually within 72 hours of that happening, and then cause legal action against that fraudster. We have the financial resources, thank God, to do that today, but that's just the nature of this industry. So what we do to protect ourselves is we never solicit on social media anything, nor do we solicit in general. We offer a lot of educational materials, but we don't solicit. You'll never see me or any of my associates on any social media trying to sell anything ever. Second, all transactions that we do, money always has to go through a reputable law firm. All transactions we do, money always has to go to a reputable law firm. We never ask the client to send us money or anything like that. Now, I do want to take a minute and talk a little bit about my competitors. In the United States, in the US alone, US has 3% of the world's population, and they have over 60% of the world's lawyers. In the United States, that's a fact, have 3% of the world's population and over 60% of the world's lawyers. I have a lot of legitimate competitors in the United States and around the world that unfortunately have been sued for wrongful things that other people have done. There's a lot of negative stuff on social media or websites about some of my legitimate competitors. And I want to tell you that a lot of my competitors are legitimate. They're hardworking people. I know them. They deliver real results. And unfortunately, they have negative comments or fraud or even lawsuits against them. The reason within Allfunds Global doesn't have a lawsuit against it, or me, Taimour Zaman, don't have a lawsuit against me, or people on social media saying that we're fraudsters or something like that, is simply because of my lack of vision. Every company you deal with, every major company you deal with, whether it's the cars you drive, Ford, Lexus, I don't know, GM, or Facebook, Google, YouTube, whatever you use, or medicine you have, like Taimour, all of these companies have lawsuits against them. A lot of the companies you work with have litigations against them. It's just part of the growth. At some point, the business needs to grow exponentially, and that's when you have to see lawsuits as just the nature of the business growing. The fact that we don't have it is because of my lack of vision as the CEO and like trying to bark a tree like that. Now, I see that changing as we buy businesses that have other CEOs, as we grow. We have over 800 registered brokers with us. As that number grows, it's not normal for our business to continue growing without some idiot calling us fraudster, some idiot trying to sue us, or something like that. If you want to take advantage of the alternative funding industry, I'm going to tell you this is the industry I love. I'm going to tell you this is the industry that I've made a lot of money with. I'm going to tell you this is the industry I've helped a lot of clients make a lot of money with, friends and family make a lot of money with. And if this is an industry you want to get involved in, I recommend meeting the people you want to do business with, like physically flying down to meeting them. If you can afford to hire an investigator, we use a lot of former FBI, former CIA people. These are people you can hire to do background checks. It's not only do these people have lawsuits or not, or other losers calling them fraudsters or not. I'm telling you, a lot of my competitors are really good people, and they're not fraudsters. So do your own due diligence, listen to your intuition. We're really interested in working with some really good people that are vision-driven entrepreneurs that really want to serve the world, and I think we have some things that are really amazing to offer. Another question I get is, Taimour, we love all the services of Allfunds Global. What are the top 3 services you offer that we should really seriously think about, call you or your organization and get you guys involved? But my favorite service, the one that makes a lot of sense, is the trusted advisory service. This is when we become your chief banking officer. We work with your CFO, your legal team, the CEO, the COO. We look at where your organization is, where you want it to be. We look at banking programs that make sense for your type of business, that are proven and would work to generate access to alternative revenue sources for your business that makes sense. From that, we then create offshore tax structures, offshore bank accounts, offshore bank licenses for your organization, so the revenue that gets generated has a channel to go to that is well protected. We have a lot of domain expertise that I do not share ever on YouTube. It's not like a lawyer who's like, go create a trust account and cooks out it. Like we don't do. We do some very sophisticated stuff that I'm very proud of. That's our intellectual property. And so the trusted advisory services, where we become a trusted advisor, is one of the things that I would recommend everybody to look at. It's a monthly retainer, you pay for it, but let me tell you, for every penny you put in, that you get tens of dollars out of it. And I think you're not going to get this amount of expertise dedicated to your business. So that's something I would recommend you to think about and sign up for. Second one is if you're looking for access to capital, we have a lot of unique programs like Rent a Rich Uncle that we can support your organization as long as your organization is a successful business and not a startup, not somebody who's going bankrupt. It's a successful business that has real cash, real assets, and is generating something real, that's real growth. I think we have some avenues for accessing capital that others simply cannot offer. And the final one that I love is we have a lot of asset management structures that are very unique to our intellectual property that I love to share with you. If you have assets, you want to grow, you want to get bank license, you want to set up a trust, you want to work with multiple central banks, do some really cool stuff. I think I'm the only weirdest person that has real expertise and experience in doing this stuff. And so my name is Taimour. I'm from All Funds Global. Thank you for following us up on YouTube. If you're doing that, thank you for trusting me. Thank you for trusting my team. And on behalf of my team, I just really want to say thank you. And we look forward to the opportunity of serving you.